So guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time, you are highly welcome. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be learning how to draft this beautiful blouse. If that is what you really want to watch, then keep on watching this video. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that anytime I post a new video, you just get a notification so that you can watch it. Okay, so the first thing I did was to come down by 5 inches from the starting line, and that line becomes my shoulder line. So now from the center front, I came in again by 5 inches. Okay, so now that is just what I did. So now from this point, we have to go ahead and mark all our vertical body measurements, like shoulder to bust, shoulder to chest line, shoulder to half length, and then shoulder to the full length of your jacket. Okay, so having done that, I'll quickly label out this line. That's my shoulder line, my chest line, my bust line, my waist line, and the length of my jacket. So now after this, the next thing we have to do is to divide our shoulder measurement by 2, and we have to mark it like so, and also to mark the width of your neck, which is 3 inches. So now for the shoulder slant, you can mark 1.5 or 1 inches. So now for the depth of the neck, you can mark 3 inches. Okay, 3 inches is perfect because this is a jacket. You don't want the neckline being so deep. Okay, so now from the width of the neck, I'll quickly connect it like so. So now the next thing is for you to divide your shoulder measurements again on the chest line. So with your straight ruler, you connect it like so. And after that, I'm going to be dividing my round bust circumference measurements into 4, and I'll mark it on the chest line and also mark it on the bust line. Then on the half length, you have to divide your waist circumference measurements by 4. If you're adding a dart, then you add 1 inch for the dart. Okay, so now for the upper hip, I'm just going to divide my upper hip circumference measurements by 4 as well. Okay, so no sewing allowance has been added. So now to create our armhole curve, you have to find the middle of your armhole line, and you have to come in at least by 0.5. Okay, so now I'm going to connect it like so, and then from the end of that 0.5, I'll connect it to the armhole. So like I told you guys, when you divide your your waist circumference measurement by 4, you have to add 1 inch for that. Okay, so now on the waistline, you are going to mark your nipple to nipple divided by 2. That's your bust span divided by 2. Or you can find the middle of the waistline and mark a straight line. But if you have taken your nipple to nipple measurement, it's perfect for you to just go ahead and do what? Mark it. So now after this, the next thing is for us to find the middle of our armhole line, just like I'm doing. So now after that, the next thing is for us to mark, that is the center of that armhole. You find it and then you mark the center of it, just like I'm doing. And this time around, we are connecting this point with our French curve. So now from that center of the armhole, you have to position your French curve very well, making sure that it is going together with the bust point, just like I position mine, and then you go ahead and mark it. Okay guys, so just like so. So this is just how to do it. So now the next thing is for us to remove the 1 inch that we just added at our half length. Okay, so you have to mark 0.5 in between the line. That is that line. You have to mark 0.5 on this side and the other side. So now from this point you can go up by 0.5 from your upper hip line. Okay, you can go 0.5 from your upper hip line. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure that I have 0.5 so that I don't take out more or less. So now from the bust point you have to come down by 0.5 as well, and just with a straight ruler you can go ahead and connect all the points. So okay guys, because a lot of people are complaining that my videos are always so fast, they don't grab it, even if they are practicing, it's so hard for them to make use of the video. So I decided that I was going to be doing this video to be beginners friendly. Okay, so I know that a lot of you are beginners, and when you are a beginner you have to really take time to figure out what is going on. So I'll just go ahead and connect all the dart legs just like I'm doing, making sure that the dart legs, they are just the way it is here. Okay, so now after that, the next thing we are going to be doing is to mark our princess dart, and that is just 0.5. That's half an inch. Okay, you don't want to mark maybe more than that, or preferably just 0.5 or 0.75. You shouldn't exceed that because you do not need so much tightening at that point. Okay guys, so but before taking out that you can come up by 0.5 from the bust, come down 0.5 from the bust line. Okay, because okay, sometimes you need to tighten that side so that it will not give. No, this is a jacket. Okay, so I'm just going to position this French curve, making sure that it is giving me the type of curve I want for the princess dart, and I'll go ahead and connect it smoothly like so. Okay, so you guys can see how perfect our armhole princess dart is. Everything is just working out so perfectly. So now from the end of the armhole you have to go out by the exact that you just took out at the armhole. You know, we mark the 0.5, so I'm just going to extend that out by 0.5. So now after that you have to position your French curve in such a way that the first curve you made at the armhole is working. As you can see that the dart is working from that extension of 0.5, is just working together with the same curve. Okay, if you make yours straight, when it's curvy it will come out looking somehow, it will not come out perfect. So just look at the dart, you see that from the end of that 0.5 you see that the curve is just the same. Okay, this is how you are going to do yours so that it will come out perfect. Okay, so now we are going to come up by 0.7 or 0.5 from the hem. Okay, so this is so that we can prevent sharp edges. Okay, we do not want that place to be sharp. Okay, if you do not take out this dart like so, it's going to come out looking so sharp and it won't fit it will never fit at the hem. Okay, so just connect it like so, and we are done with that side. So okay divers, now the next thing for us to do is to find our breaking point. So now your breaking point is that place where you want your shawl or notch collar to start from. That is normally where the first button is. Okay, so most of the time it can be the waistline, the chest line, depending on the style. Okay, but for this very jacket is at the half length. Okay, so from that half length I came out by 1 inch, and I'll just go ahead and draw a straight line. Okay, so you just mark 1 inch. Okay, this 1 inch is for button overlap allowance. Okay, you know that this is jacket and we need button, so I'm just going to come out by 1 inch, and remember that my breaking point is my half length. That's my breaking point for this very jacket. Okay, so you are free to take your breaking point below the bust line or at the under bust, at the chest line. It just depends on what you really want. Okay, so now from that breaking point I'm going to place my meter rule like this, and I'll just mark a straight line, extending that line above the neck. Okay, I'm just going to mark it like so. Make sure that did you see that my line is just at the neckline? Okay, that's how yours should be. Okay, so now I'm going to extend this line out like so, and I made a mistake on this neckline. I didn't mark 1 inch. You know that from the breaking point to the hemline I marked 1 inch, but on the neckline, this place where I am now, I marked 1.5. okay, for the notch or collar width. But then you can mark, depending on the style that you are making, 1.5, 2 inches. So now I'm going to open it up by 0.2. You know, this jacket, the space at the notch is just very small. It's not deep. Okay, but if this is your first time of making a jacket, you can just space it, that is going up by 1 inch before you connect this line. Okay, if you have watched my other tutorial, you know how to go about this very well. So now from this neck depth I will go up by 3.5. for a standard neck width for a jacket is 3.5. okay, for an average person. So behind it I went out by 0.5. So guys, this 0.5 is what will help your collar to relax. Okay, behind the collar line I have 0.5. So now for the width of your collar, it is up to you to determine how wide it should be. You can mark 2 inches, 2.5, 3 inches, depending on the style that you are actually trying to achieve. Okay, so that is just it. So now I'm going to connect this point now with my French curve. Okay, you are free to make use of your French curve or straight line, but for this very jacket you will not get the exact effect if you use a straight line. Okay, so I would advise, if you really want to get exactly this, you need to use a French curve at this point. So now from that 0.5 I went out behind the collar. I'm going to use my French curve and connect it back to the depth of the neck like so. Okay, so I told you guys that 0.5 is very important. So now with this I'm done drafting, and I'm going to cut out my pattern. So okay guys, I have tutorial paid class on how to sew the jacket. So if you really want to learn how to sew this, you can join our paid class so that you could be able to get all the tutorial on how to sew the jacket. So now I'll technically cut out the darts, and that is it. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Was this tutorial really helpful? See you guys on my next one.